sign up with my Webull link and get 10 free shares. Link will be in the description below. So growing my stock portfolio to $1 million. So currently the position today was up 1.30%. The two positions I'm currently in is a 2 times Bitcoin ETF and a 2 times Netflix ETF. So let's start off with Bitcoin, right? So looking at Bitcoin, currently Bitcoin is up 3.65%. On the daily chart, we are above, basically we're still above the 9-day moving average. We did have a slight pullback today. When was it? Today. So basically, we did we did have a slight pullback a couple days back here on the 23rd, and basically I mentioned that okay, well, it looks like the previous high was 79,324, and basically I expected for a pullback to happen. It pulled back to the 20-day moving average if it couldn't hold itself above the 9-day moving average as support. And basically we are now surpassing that previous high, which is 79,324. So currently I feel like we're on the verge of a breakout to happen, like for Bitcoin to reach previous numbers in the 100,000 range soon. If it doesn't happen by the end, obviously it's not going to happen by the end of this month, I think, but I think by next month, September, after the end of September, I feel like that's when personally I feel like Bitcoin will be back in the 100,000 range. I feel like that's the case for Bitcoin. Now currently we are approaching the 50-day the 50-day moving average on the weekly chart. If we do have a little trouble breaking out of the 50-day moving average, we could see a little bit of rejection happen to Bitcoin, and once again we could see it go back to the downside. But from the looks of it, I say it's still bullish. On the 4-hour time chart, it's looking bullish as well. If we do see a slight pullback, I expect it to pull back to the 20-day moving average. And let's say all of a sudden the Bitcoin decides to cool down even more, maybe potentially Bitcoin could come back to the 50-day moving average and use it as support. We'll have to see what happens. But by the looks of it, I mentioned before too as well that we needed to break this high of 79,324, and we have done that already. So it looks like we are ready to see Bitcoin go up even further. So I'm very excited. I'm holding on to this Bitcoin ETF position. As soon as Bitcoin goes back to this level of 41 or 42, but I'm probably going to sell out the position as soon as it reaches 41. So if B2 reaches 41, I'll sell out the position, but we'll see what happens. And basically currently the Bitcoin 2 times ETF position is up, what is it, 5.98%. So we're up $662.81. So I did the math. If we do reach 42 on the monthly chart, if we do 42 or 41, the position will be up like 33 grand, I think, or 31 grand. But either or. But I'm very excited to see what happens with this this little small investment of $11,000. So we'll keep you updated. Now looking at Netflix, right? Netflix was looking a little shaky, I'm not gonna lie to you. So looking at Netflix today, Netflix was up 0.53%. On the daily chart, we're still above the 9-day moving average, which is a bullish sign for Netflix. I think the Netflix not having such a good day today it's okay. It is what it is, but I was expecting a little bit more from Netflix, and the reason I say that is because how you see the chart, like how you see the chart with the 9, the 20, the 50, the 180, and 200-day moving average in that order, usually that stock tends to have a pretty strong day. And pretty much we were having a pretty strong day until when the market closed. Netflix just completely cratered when the market closed. So we actually finished below the 20-day moving average. And in the after hours, we're still under the 20-day moving average. It's looking a little scary, but on the 4-hour time chart, I'd say on the 4-hour time chart, I still feel like we're still bullish. The reason I say that is because we finished above the 9-day moving average, even though we had a little bit of trouble of getting out of the 20-day moving average and we did get rejected by it. I feel like there could be a time, that Netflix tomorrow could try to break out of the 20-day moving average. We'll have to see what happens. So far so good. I think it's looking still bullish for Netflix. We'll have to see what happens with Netflix tomorrow. So the next thing I want to talk about is an update on the $1,000 paper trading challenge. And basically, I'm in a SpaceX call option, and this SpaceX call option expires September 18th. And so currently we are down 50% on it, but on the daily chart, I'd say we're still bullish. We're still above the 20-day moving average, even though we're below the 9-day moving average. We'll have to see what does happen. Let me see. So on the 30-minute time chart, let's see. Okay, so on the 30-minute time chart, the 9-day moving average in the morning was above the 20-day moving average. And then we saw we basically saw the 9-day moving average cross over the 50-day moving average. And we at one point wanted to break out of the 200-day moving average, but got rejected here at the 10-minute candle, the 11:30-minute candle, and the 12-minute candle. So we got rejected really bad by the 200-day moving average. So I feel like if the 9-day moving average can curl above the 20, then we should be good to go. Now on the 4-hour time chart, let's see on the 4-hour. Let's see. So by the looks of it, we finished above both the 9 and 20-day moving average, which is a pretty good sign. But so I'd say, based off of that, we could see potentially a little bit of more upside, and we could try to retest this previous resistance level of 138. So we'll have to see what happens for SpaceX tomorrow. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm personally selling out the position as soon as it reaches either I'd say 145 or 142. So I'll keep you guys updated. That is pretty much it. That is an update on the portfolio and the on the $1,000 paper trading challenge. That's pretty much it. Peace.